All right, welcome guys. Thanks for attending the workshop. This is your 2022 internet marketing plan on how you can significantly increase sales for your dispensary. So what are we going to cover? We're going to cover first the 3 fundamentals of marketing success, how to optimize your website for conversion in 2022 and beyond. After that, we'll be going through feeding the positive feedback loop for significant boost in sales. That's where we're going to go through our customer acquisition framework, where I think this is going to be the most beneficial piece of information for you guys. And then lastly, we're going to go and actually develop a custom action plan based on where you are now and then where you need to go in the future. All right. So if I could please have your attention, if you can turn off your cell phones, turn off WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, all these different things. Because if you're a dispensary owner or the marketing manager or anything like that, you're going to be, and you're serious about getting better results in 2022, the next 60 to 90 minutes are definitely going to change your life. My number one goal is not to sell you on anything or to give you anything. It's to get you the information you need to get you from point A to point B so that you're more educated on this specific situation, on increasing sales than you were at the start of this call. So if I can have your attention, that'd be really, really awesome. Now, if you stay to the end, I'll have an awesome surprise for you guys. I actually created an ultimate internet marketing checklist for cannabis dispensaries. So in this workshop, I'm going to be going through a lot of things and you're going to be like, Brandon, this is way too much. This is a lot of information for me to take. And what I would say is that I have this checklist that essentially goes through everything that I'm talking about today, right? And while I would say definitely you should listen, this checklist will put together all the things I talk about to help you grow your sales for your dispensary. So now, who am I? You're like, who is this guy? Who is Brandon? Why should I listen to him? But yeah, I'll give you a little bit of context about who I am. So my name is Brandon, and all the way back in 2018, pre-COVID, I started a very small business. And for those of you who are wondering, it was actually just a local table tennis club, brick and mortar table tennis club. And it was originally just because I really like to play. And then when you first start a business, just like with a lot of businesses, you had to answer this question. How do I get more customers? How do I get more clients through the doors with pretty much zero budget or just a minimal amount of money? And my first thought was, like a lot of people do, you had to use social media to get your first clients. You had to go post on Instagram. You had to go post on Facebook. Now there's TikTok and all these things. But the problem was that I only got a little bit of likes on my posts and nobody was coming in through the doors to come play. And I was like, damn, there must be something better, because I did the same thing. I was asking friends and family. Again, I was posting on social media, doing all the things that everyone says you should do, but there was a huge problem, right? And then I came to a realization. I was like, whenever somebody searches for something, they Google it, right? If I want to find a restaurant near me, I type in, or I want to find an Italian restaurant, right? I would go and type in Italian restaurant near me, or if I'm hungry, I go type in, restaurant near me, whatever it is, right? So then I realized, table tennis club, exact same thing. I needed to get my website to the top of Google, and then I wouldn't have to rely on social media posts, because social media, what I realized, was more so for just general awareness, right? People can like you from all over the world. And just because you have a lot of likes on your post, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get those customers through the door, right? So I needed a way to target the specific customers I needed in my local area so that they ended up coming to me and ended up started playing. So you can see here, when I first started out, I had to ask my friends to join. I literally only had 2 people at the club. I think I had 3 tables set up in this gym, and I had to ask 2 of my closest friends, say, hey, I need to get some pictures. I got to get this stuff going on. And I need you guys to come. So this was one of the first pictures, that I had. So after that, I was like, okay, great. Google's the way to go. I got to get to the top of Google. Once I'm there, everything will be great. But then I was like, okay, how do I do that? Right? There's no way I can afford an SEO agency that charges thousands of dollars a month. And I didn't even know where to begin with SEO. So then I was like, okay, what do I do? I really need to just buckle down. So everything's on the internet, or so they say. So I went down and I taught myself exactly all of the tips and tricks and strategies. There was a lot of experimentation, trial and error, in order to help my business rank higher on Google. So that's exactly what I did. So after I ranked my table tennis website to number 1, I ended up tripling my monthly customers, right? So you can see here, right? So from, it was only 2 people here. And then all the way down here, you can see there is a small growth, right? This was a year later, and it's just very, very small. There's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then there's 12 including me, so we'll count me, right? And then after that, after I started ranking, people just started showing up through the door. I didn't need to do additional Instagram posts or go on Facebook or ask anybody else. You can see here that we literally tripled the amount of people that came in, and these were dedicated members that kept coming back over and over and over again. Like, it was a really awesome way, my first kind of foray into building something myself, where I was like, wow, these are some fantastic results. So then after that, I still, had the table tennis club, but, I wanted to do something more. How can I use this newfound knowledge that I had and help other businesses do exactly what I wanted to do? So ever since then, I've been dedicating my efforts into helping dispensaries use this same power of Google to get customers of their own. So this is me, not me, but this is the transition to Cannabis digital marketing agency. So Cannabis Marketing, I'm the founder of Cannabis Marketing, and I transitioned all of those SEO skills into building my own digital marketing agency so I can help dispensaries do the same. Because if you think about it, there are a lot of parallels between owning a table tennis club and then owning a dispensary, right? And at first you might not think so, but for table tennis club, right? It's a brick and mortar place. You have a physical location. Dispensary, retail shop, you have a physical location, right? How do people find you? They find you on Google. And then I have members at my club, and then you have customers, but your customers keep coming back and purchasing over and over again. So same thing with my members. I had to develop not only ways to get customers through the door, I had to come in and make sure that I can turn them into customers and then keep them coming back over and over again. So while you might think, oh, table tennis isn't the same as cannabis dispensary marketing, trust me, there are a lot of parallels, and I'm going to show you exactly the results that we've been getting for some of our clients. So here's just a few examples. So these are some happy dispensary owners that were excited enough to create a video testimonial for us, right? This is all on our website and on our YouTube channel. Feel free to take a look. But not only were we able to get good results enough so that these dispensary owners wanted to do a video for us, we also got them good results too. So you can see here in this block right here, we increased calls to this dispensary by 302%. This was about $120,000 of revenue generated in only 3 months, right? You can see here, they're only hitting about 700 calls this month. And then here they boosted to 3,000 calls each month. So you can imagine if you're getting 6,000 calls in 2 months, you can imagine that these are a lot of people who are interested in purchasing from your dispensary. Here, you can see the aggregated data. So 33,000 website visits, 14,000 direction requests, and 8,500 calls to the business, right? So when people find you online, and I'm going to touch on this in a second, them visiting your website is the equivalent of them coming in and visiting your shop, right? Because they come from Google, it's like, hey, you guys have something I might be interested in buying. If the price point is aligned, if the customer service is good, I'm going to come in and purchase product from you guys, right? So this is the exact same process. So here, 33,000 people on your website is the equivalent of 33,000 people coming to your store, because these are people who are interested in buying products from you. Another case study here generated $40,000 of additional revenue here, because these guys got 25,000 organic sessions, right? So some really, really awesome results that you generate strictly from ranking higher on Google. And this is exactly what I'm going to go through. So it's not just ranking higher on Google. There's a full customer acquisition framework that I'm going to go through to show you how you can help your dispensary grow and increase sales. So now, the problem. There are so many options when it comes to marketing, right? There's SEO, which is search engine optimization. There's PPC. There's websites, there's social media, the Instagrams, the Facebooks, the TikToks. There's offline stuff. There's billboards, there's digital billboards, there's direct mail marketing, there's lawn signs. There's so many things, and because there's so many things, what ends up happening is that you have to then spend a lot of marketing, because you're like, okay, I want to do everything. I want to make sure that I can get everything and cover all of my bases, right? But the problem with that is that a lot of people spend that money and then they don't have enough to show for it. It's like the jack of all trades, master of none analogy, right? You go in, you're going to spend some money here, 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 and here, and you're going to hope that one of these things hit, when in actuality, you're not doing anything, good. Unless you're one of those multi-million, tens of millions of dollars dispensaries, you don't have the marketing budget to do every single marketing activity. So what we need to do is ensure that you have a clear plan so that you don't overspend or underspend and underperform for any of these marketing strategies, right? So like I said, you have SEO, PPC, website, social media. We want to make sure that we have a structured plan for you to help grow your dispensary and do the lowest hanging fruit activities to help you make as much money as possible, right? So now the opportunity. What you really need to do is you need to have a clear plan with specific marketing strategies, so that you can make sure that you know exactly what you need to do, right? You can't go and do a shotgun method approach and try a million different things and then not exactly know what type of results you're going to get from that, right? Ultimately, you want to have a great return on your marketing investment, and the only way you can do that is by setting up a plan and then reverse engineering what your goals are. So if you want to hit X amount of dollars, you need to make sure you have a specific plan and then go backwards. You don't just say, hey, I'm going to try and do weed maps, Leafly, offline advertising, online advertising, and then hope something sticks. No, you need to set up the foundation of a customer acquisition in order to help your dispensary grow. So now, this is how we're going to set up your plan. This is what you need to follow. This is the framework you need to follow in order to help your dispensary increase sales. Number one, you need to get awareness. You need to get people to know you exist. Sure, if you go and you build a nice building and you're saying, hey, this is going to be a gold mine, and a lot of people are going to come in just because I sell, cannabis, weed, marijuana, edibles, all these different things. That's not good enough. I'm sure if you were to look around, there's a whole bunch of dispensaries out there. And if you are not seen, if people don't know you exist, then it doesn't matter. You can have the best product, you can have the best service, you can have the best bud tenders, but if people don't know you exist, it doesn't matter, right? So you want to be the best known as well as having the best product. Number two is the conversion portion. Conversion is, in a nutshell, converting people who know you into customers. So yes, I'm aware of this business, but if that person doesn't then turn into a customer, then it doesn't matter. You're not going to get any sales because they're aware. So it's just like a funnel, right? So first you need awareness to show you that people know you exist. The second is that you need to then convert those aware customers, those aware people into customers, right? You need to drive them to your store by whatever marketing means. The third thing you need to do is then you need to get the loyalty portion put in. You need to get those customers coming back and then also have them provide a good word of mouth growth, right? It's because if you don't have a good customer service, if your product isn't good, if you don't have any of these things put in place, then they're not going to keep coming back. So you're going to run out of people eventually, because people who are aware are then, going to convert. And then if they don't keep coming back, you're going to lose that flywheel. So this is how you feed the positive feedback loop. You want to generate awareness, because generating awareness means that people know that you exist. Then you need to turn that into conversion, because once people are aware and you can convert those into paying customers, you're going to start making money. But in order to grow exponentially, right, not just linearly in terms of a one-on-one transaction, you need those customers to keep coming back over and over and over again, which is where the loyalty piece comes into place. And I'm going to touch on this in a second. And all of these three pieces are incredibly important. If you take away awareness, you're not going to get any sales. If you take away conversion, you're not getting any sales. If you take away loyalty, you're not going to exponentially grow in sales. So by taking this is the positive feedback loop that is built upon this customer acquisition framework that I created. And all this equals dispensary growth, right? And I'm sure you can agree that by taking all these things into consideration, it's going to help you grow your business as a whole. So now, the awareness piece. How do people find your business? What is the strategy for people to find your business? Again, do you post on LinkedIn? Do you have some social media strategies? Do you post on Instagram? Do you post on Facebook? Do you post on TikTok? What are the ways people find your business, right? And you need to make sure that you have an awareness strategy put in place, because if you have just if you build it, they will come mentality, this isn't good enough. Like I said, more and more competitors are opening up every single day. At the end of the day, for the most part, you're selling a commodity, right? I can go down the street to some other dispensary and I don't necessarily need to go to your dispensary to get your products, right? While you might have better strains, you need to make sure people have a way to find you, because it doesn't matter how good your strains are. If people don't know you exist, it doesn't matter, right? So here are the main forms of awareness campaigns. You have social media, like I said. You have Google Ads, which is just, if you were to type in like lawyer or, California lawyer, Colorado lawyer, Denver lawyer, whatever it is, you're going to see a section on top that has ads. And that's what's referred to as pay-per-click or PPC. And what that does is that when you run a campaign, you can tell Google, hey, I will pay you $5 for every click I get, right? And they will end up putting you higher on Google. But it's only shown as an ad. That's not organic. That is strictly just paying Google. Then 3, you have Facebook ads. A lot of people do Facebook ads as well. You can do YouTube ads, all these different things, and Facebook ad. I'm sure you've seen a Facebook ad. You can do all these different types of ads. Now, the problem with any of these ads is that on social media, there's tons of upkeep issues. If you are one of the lucky few who haven't had their account banned or anything like that yet, you want to say congratulations. But you should know that with all of the restrictions going into place, competitors reporting your profile, just Instagram being random in terms of what you can and can't post, right? There's a whole bunch of issues that circle around social media. And this brings me back to what I was talking about before, was that when you post on social media, a like doesn't necessarily mean someone's going to come in and purchase, right? Someone can like you from, 100 miles away. Social media has general awareness, but this isn't one of the foundational strategies that help you significantly increase your sales. Now, for Google ads and Facebook ads, this is word for word a screenshot of what Google says that you can and can't do ads for. The following is not allowed for recreational drugs. Ads for substances that alter mental state for the purpose of recreation or otherwise induce quote unquote highs. So unfortunately, right now, cannabis is in this section. And because it's still federally illegal, there's a bunch of issues with Google ads and you can't actually run Google ads. So where does that leave us? That leaves us with SEO or search engine optimization. And I'm going to touch on that right now. And I want you to be rest assured in that Google is good enough, right? Google is where everyone will find you. Here are just two simple keywords. This is dispensaries near me, right? Look at this, the search volume per month. 2.9 million people every single month are looking for a dispensary near them. These are 2.9 people who are pre-positioned to buy from you already because they're actively looking for cannabis related products. And this is just one keyword, right? You can see here in July, actually, the search volume jumped to 3.4 million. So it's actually growing. So this is the place where you need to be in order to help grow your dispensary. For the dispensary keyword alone, we can see that the search volume is 1.5 million, right? So these are two keywords, but these are ways that you can help significantly increase sales for your dispensary, right? And like I said, SEO is powerful enough. This is a percentage, this is a case study done in terms of the percentage of people who click on the different sections on Google. And I'm sure you're very familiar with it, right? The first one is PPC or the Google ad. So like I said, you see this ad icon right here. This is where people come in and they pay for this click. So if I was to physically click on this ad, I would then have, or the owner of this ad would then have to pay a certain amount of money to get that click. Right? But as we see here, Google ads don't allow cannabis. So we have the local pack or the Google Maps section, which is this right here. This is where you would type in restaurant near me and you would show up here and this is where it is. And then you have the organic search results. And these are the search results that sit below Google Maps, right? So the goal is that you want to rank in this Google Maps section for the dispensary near me keywords or insert city, insert dispensary keywords. And then you also want to rank for the organic section because you are then going to utilize the local pack results and then also the organic search results here, which is very, very, very important. So by taking all this into consideration, by ranking higher on Google, you're going to have access to all of these customers who are now aware of you because these guys are actively looking for your products. So, sure, you can put up a billboard or something like that, or you can use some sort of like a direct mail campaign. But the majority of people, like the 80%, maybe even 90% of people who are going to figure out who you are going to come from Google. And these are the people who are actively looking for a dispensary, right? So that's part one. That is the awareness portion of how you want people to reach you. Now, section 3, or this is part 2 in terms of the customer acquisition framework, is the conversion piece. So like I said, you need to make sure your website is built out so that it can convert your visitors into customers. It doesn't matter if 1 million people visit your website. If those 1 million people don't end up purchasing something from your store, it doesn't matter. They just visited your store and then left, right? So we need to make sure we have conversion pieces put into place so that you can then change these customers, these visitors into paying customers. And, the question is it, okay, Brandon, does conversion optimization really have an impact, right? Like how much money could I make by improving the chances of people who are going to come in and visit, my dispensary? So what I've done is I have 2 simple scenarios right here, scenario 1 and scenario 2. And this is a typical funnel on how people would typically buy. The first thing is you would have website sessions, meaning these are the people who are going to physically visit your website, right? The next one is you would have them go to a shop page. then they would go to a cart page, then they would go check out, and then they would ultimately make a purchase. So I'm not necessarily saying you're going to collect payment on the website, because I know that's not allowed in a lot of states. But this is more so just like pre-ordering for pickup. Right. So at each of these steps, you're going to have a specific volume of how many people make it to the next step, because you're going to have drop off. So from website sessions to shop page visits, you might have 4,000 people. And then from the people who visit your website, only 2,600 are going to go visit to the shop page. And then from the people who visit the shop page, only 962 are then going to visit the cart page. And then so on and so forth, going to the checkout and then going to the purchases. So what I've done here is I've taken two identical calculations, and I adjusted the conversion by 15%. So you can see here the conversion is 80%, and you can see here the conversion is 65%. But what I want you to see is that the difference in annual revenue is about $150,000 just by having a 15% conversion on your website. And this is because you now have a compounding effect on your conversions, because once you hit high conversion numbers on your website, it's going to stay there for the most part. You might have to make some tweaks here and there, but you have a 15% permanent increase in conversion, meaning that you're going to have a permanent increase in how much money you make. Because if you have 1,000, if you have, let's say even 10, if you have 10 people visiting your website, and you, out of those 10 people, only one person ends up making a purchase, if you can get that to 3 people making a purchase, you then triple your sales immediately. And that's all just by doing conversion. So that's not even talking about SEO, building awareness. This is literally how can we convert your customers? How can we convert your website visitors into customers better? So here are a few just easy things that you can go and implement right now. Go ahead and implement these right away. Stay to the end of the workshop, but you can take this. And this is all in the checklist as well. But these are a few things to see if your website is set up for conversion. I'm going to walk you through why it's important for conversion. So the foundation of conversion follows this. You want to reduce the friction that it takes your customers to get from point A to point B. The example is you want to make it as easy as possible for your customers to end up making a purchase. The more friction or the more obstacles or the more time it takes for your customers to make a purchase or to get to what they want, the higher chance you're just going to leave that site. You know, everyone with short attention spans, no one really, continues to do things. You really need to make sure that your website is poised for conversion. And these are a few things that you can do. Now, first things first is that you need to make sure that the website speaks to the customer. What is the key differentiator for your business? So a lot of times I ask dispensary owners, okay, hey, John, hey, Sarah, why would I go to dispensary A versus dispensary B, which is just down the street from you? And a lot of times they say, we have the best quality product. We have the best customer service. We do this, we do that. And our pricing is the best. Okay. Everyone says that. I'm sure, if you're looking at how you operate your business, it's something along those lines. And that's not a problem because that's the foundation. You need that in the first place. But that doesn't set you apart from any of these other dispensaries. So you need to make sure that you have a key differentiator. Sometimes it's, if you have the resources and you're vertically integrated, great. Maybe you offer craft cannabis products, right? Maybe you offer additional products that are a little bit hard to source, but you get this for your customer anyways, right? There are a lot of different things. Maybe you have a bunch of awards for your business, right? That's the social proof aspect. So what is a key differentiator for your business? And why should I go purchase from you versus from someone else on the line? The next thing, having your phone number and email hyperlinked, right? So the worst thing is if I go in and then go take my phone and I'm like, okay, I want to go and phone this business. And I need to then copy and paste the phone number into my dialer and then call them. I'm like, this is a headache, right? Because I want to just call them right away. So what you really need to do is you need to go in and make sure the phone number and email is hyperlinked, because on mobile, when you click it, it'll automatically go to your dialer and then you're going to capture as many people coming in. Because what you want to do is, again, reduce friction. So if I'm a customer and I want to come in and purchase from your business, but I have a question, do you have this product in stock? What are your hours? What is the pricing on this? Whatever it is. By me talking to your dispensary, there's a higher likelihood chance that I'm going to purchase from you, because once I speak with you, right, we have established that relationship. And again, that's a conversion because I'm going to come in and then there's a high likelihood chance that I'm going to buy some of your cannabis products. Another thing, social proof and testimonials. This is significant. And the example for this, excuse me, Talking a lot. The example for this is that for social proof and testimonials, like whenever you go and buy something on Amazon, do you go look at the reviews to see and make sure that it's a good quality product? Like I'm sure you do. When you type in restaurant near me, do you go and see the best restaurant, look at the top 3 listings, look at the one with the best reviews, and then go check out the menu afterwards? Probably, right? The exact same thing applies for your business and your dispensary. You need to make sure that you have some social proof and testimonials about why your customers say your business is so great, right? Like why should I end up working with, or why are your customers happy? Because then me as a customer, if I see other customers vouching for your business, that's incredibly powerful. It's much more powerful than you saying that you have the best quality product, that you saying you have the best bud tenders, because you have a bias. These customers don't have a bias, right? And by having a social proof testimonials, your conversions are going to increase significantly. Live chat option. So this falls along the lines of what I was talking about earlier about capturing your customers, getting them within your ecosystem. A lot of times people are going to do this. They're going to phone your business. They're going to go into your store directly, maybe email you and maybe fill out a contact form, but probably not, right? So phone and going into your store are 2 of the biggest things, right? And the thing that's missing is having a live chat option, because when you have a live chat option, again, you immediately capture those customers who are interested in the information, but maybe people are more introverted and they don't want to speak with you on the phone, right? Maybe they can't speak on the phone and they just want to, text you quickly. And by having and waiting for emails, it takes way too long, right? If I'm not even going to bother sending out a customer service email if it's not pressing, because I know I'm not going to get message back, within the next 3 days or whatever it is, right? So what you need to do is make sure you have a live chat option, because then you increase the percentage chance that these customers are going to come in and purchase from you. And then you're going to get that loyalty coming back in. And I'm going to show you that in a second. Next thing, calls to action. So a call to action is just, whatever it is. It could be a button, it could be a text, but it's literally just a verb that prompts your visitors to then take an action on your website, right? So it's call us, order now, order online, whatever it is. And it directs your customers to take an action. Because what's the difference between, like a brochure website and a sales website? Brochure website is just, here's some information, here's our menu, just take a look at it. And the menu alone invites people to just window shop. They're going to go in and they're going to be like, okay, product, I'll buy it maybe. But if you have buttons, typically what's referred to as above the fold, meaning that there's a landing section on your website. And what you need to do is you need to go and have some buttons like here, right? That prompts your visitors to take an action on the website. So again, super, super important. And it's the key differentiator for having people do things on your website. And the last thing is leveraging marketing automation and SMS to maximize your conversion rate. So this also falls a lot more into loyalty and how you're going to grow your business with that. But again, you want to make sure you have automations to put in place so that you can optimize conversion. So if someone comes in, emails your business, or someone comes in and texts your business, or whatever it is, you have some sort of automation to capture that customer, have them in a database, so then you can then retarget them at a later date, right? So these are just a few things that you can do to help improve conversions for your business. Now, in terms of finding the message that resonates with your customers, right? So coming back to the key differentiator thing that I was talking about, it's kind of difficult, right? You're not really sure how people like your business. Like, why do they like your business? Like, what's the big deal, right? The good thing is that people openly say it. This is typically in the form of reviews, right? So we can see here, the staff was really helpful and friendly. I got a birthday discount. So boom, birthday discount. That means this customer was super happy that they got a birthday discount, so much so that they went in, not only recommended your business, but did a public 5-star review on Google. Not many people write reviews. If you were to poll a lot of people, while there are a lot of reviews online, not a lot of people go out their way to write reviews unless it's really, really awesome, right? Here, highly recommend this place. Had an awesome time. Ramon and Chanel helped me. Excellent staff. Went above Call of Duty. They're very helpful with the disabled community, right? So these are messages that really resonated with them, so much so that they went in and wrote a good review. Right. So by taking a look at your Google reviews, you can really see what types of messages end up resonating with your customer. And then you can use that as copy on your website. That's just like a very, very quick hack in order for you to help develop that it's like that context or that messaging framework between what your customer thinks that they want in your head and what you actually provide. Because you might think that, yes, I am providing a cannabis product to them and that's all they want. But no, people want the cannabis product and they want to have a good interaction with the business. And they want to make sure that, their needs and their wants are met, whether it's in the disabled community or whether it was someone's birthday and you said, hey, happy birthday, right? This stuff means a lot to people, because at the end of the day, you have B2B businesses, you have B2C businesses, business to business, business to customer. But at the end of the day, all businesses or all interactions are business to people, right? So, you need to make sure that you develop that relationship with your customer so that you guys are on the same page, which is incredibly important. Sorry, this keeps on moving. I'll just use this. So now what I'm going to go into is the loyalty portion. So the two things that we've covered so far is one, the awareness portion, and we're going to drive a lot of that awareness with high converting marketing strategies, such as SEO. The second thing is then once you have that awareness is you're improving the conversions on your website so that you improve the amount of sales that you can get based on the amount of people. Because again, if you have one out of 10 people end up purchasing on your website, if you can improve that to 3 out of 10 people, you're tripling your sales without having to touch anything else. So now one of the more important things is the loyalty portion to this. So I don't know if you knew this, but the average lifetime value of a Starbucks customer is actually $14,000. So it's not just depending on how you purchase Starbucks and stuff like that, it's not just a $2 cup of coffee. It's not just maybe an $8, cup of coffee, depending on what you get. But the average lifetime value of Starbucks customer is $14,000. So imagine how many coffees that you need in order to hit that number. And the reason for this is because of the loyalty, right? Starbucks customers keep on coming back to Starbucks every single morning, every single day, 300 times in the year, right? Maybe even more, right? They need to have their Starbucks fix, right? And this strategy applies to your business too. In the cannabis space, you probably have an 80-20, right? Or the majority of people are going to be recurring customers and then a small amount are going to be new customers, right? And if that's not the case, you're in big trouble because that is almost what's mandatory, because you need to make sure you have a good loyalty strategy put in place. So just based on average purchase value and averages purchase per year, I calculated the average lifetime value of a customer for dispensaries for 1 year. So if a customer is coming in and purchase $45 worth of product once, right, that's $45. But for the most part, they're going to keep coming back over and over again, meaning that they're probably going to purchase 12 times in a year. So once per month, which is super, super low. And you can see here, all I did was multiply 45 times 12, which is $540. And then if you can get an additional 100 customers through the door, an additional new 100 customers through the door, right, you're going to be generating $54,000 of additional revenue, or almost $650,000 a year, right? And I'm not fudging any numbers. This is very, very simple, simple math. It's multiplying the average purchase value by the amount of times customers coming through the door, and then multiplying that by the customers, per month, right? So this is why loyalty is so important, because you can have the best marketing strategy. You can be converting your website at 100%, but if customers aren't coming back, you are a brick and mortar shop, right? You are a physical location. You have a subset of customers who are going to purchase from you within a specific geographical radius, right? And you need to make sure you leverage word of mouth and loyalty to get those customers coming back over and over again, or you're in big trouble. So the loyalty strategy, what you need to do is it's mandatory to have these in place. You need to have these, and no other tactic, no other strategy, no other tips and tricks will help you if you don't have these 4 foundations in place, right? You can have the best marketer, you can have us, you can have cannabis marketing working for you, or working with you, I like to say. If you don't have these strategies in place, then you're not going to have a successful dispensary. So the first things first is you need to have a good product, right? Well, not only do you need products, you need to have a good product, right? Because without a good product, customers aren't going to like what you have to sell, right? So if you don't have a good product, then it doesn't matter, right? Like I said, I can't do anything about you not having a good product. So you need to have a good product first place. Second thing, you need to have good customer service, right? You need to make sure that these customers are knowledgeable. So when I come in as a new customer and I say, hey, I am looking for a strain that does this, or I am new to cannabis, and I want to try edibles for the first time. What do you recommend? Whatever it is. Your customer service needs to be good enough to make sure that your customers are happy when being serviced by you. That's essentially all it is, right? And by doing this, again, you'll find a lot of Google reviews name drop bud tenders. They say, hey, Ramon and Chanel did a really, really awesome job for me. I'm really happy with their service. This is the stuff that keeps people coming back, right? There's no hidden tip or trick or strategy that will beat good products, good customer service. The third thing, pricing aligned with provided value. Now, the reason why I worded it like this is because pricing is one thing, right? But you need to have pricing aligned with the proper amount of value. So you can be a more value cannabis dispensary where you're just selling the cheapest, right? Selling the most affordable bud and flower that there is and having razor thin margins, right? That's fine. That works for some dispensaries. Other dispensaries can go in and price their stuff a bit higher because maybe they are vertically integrated, right? Maybe they have access to resources that can help them grow better bud than what the cheaper guys can do, right? The example is the same thing. It's like, should I choose an Apple device or should I choose an Android device, right? Apple's more expensive, but the provided value that they give to the customers, whether you like them or not, justifies the purchase decisions from those customers, meaning that they're going to spend more money. So you need to make sure your pricing is aligned with the provided value, because if you're charging $500 for 1 gram of flower, you're not going to sell anything, right? So you need to make sure that your pricing is aligned with the provided value and obviously the market that you're in as well. The fourth thing is the buying experience of your dispensary. You need to make sure that you need to have minimal waiting times, right? That means hiring enough bud tenders for rush hour time, right? Hiring enough bud tenders during holiday season or whatever it is. You also need to have a good store layout, easy online purchasing. Whatever the buying experience is, you need to make sure this is good. Because if I go to your dispensary and I need to wait 50 minutes for some bud, I'm never going to come back again, right? If I'm going in and I'm trying to figure out what new products do you have, and you don't have a menu board up or you don't have a products laid out and it's just an empty store and I'm just expected to know what I want, there's going to be a problem. I'm not going to come back, right? If I go online and I'm trying to purchase something and your website's lagging and your online ordering system isn't working and I go and buy something and then I go to the store I buy something online, I go pick it up and it's not available, right? In the store, that's a bad buying experience. So you need to have these 4 things. These are the 4 things that you need in place that are the foundational pieces of having a good business, right? These are mandatory. This isn't tips and tricks and strategies. Like you need to have these in place because if you don't, you're not going to have a successful dispensary, right? I just, really wanted to emphasize all of these different things. So now, once your foundation is set, like I said, only once your foundation is set, can we then go into the strategy portion. In the dispensary space, there are 3 main ways that you would, kind of drive loyalty. One is SMS, like text messaging. 2 is email, and then 3 is with loyalty reward programs, right? I'm going to go into these 3 right now. Now, first thing, this is from a study done by Springbig. It's a loyalty software. I'm not affiliated with them, but this is just a very interesting study that I found. And I will go through this very slowly so you can get an idea of what these numbers are. So now, members with more than 1 redemption, meaning that, so these are loyalty members, right? So if you can redeem points, and you have a loyalty program put in place, just like Starbucks, right? You go and swipe your card, get points, whatever it is, or now you go to McDonald's, there's loyalty points. The exact same thing applies, right? So members with more than 1 redemption, you can see that 74.6% of the total spend is done in month 12, right? The percentage of all customers after 12 months is 9.8%. And then the percentage total of monthly spend in month 1 is 18.1%, right? But here, if we go to members with no redemptions, meaning they signed up for the loyalty program, right, but they're not active in it, you can see that the percentage of total spend in month 12 was 19.3%, right? And then we go to the non-members. So the non-members obviously make up a lot of the spend in month 1 because they're a new customer, right? I'm not going to sign up for a loyalty program if I go there once, maybe not even the second time. The third time, maybe I might go and be like, okay, I'm coming here a lot, let me use loyalty. But we can see here that the percentage of total spend in month 12 is only 5.8%, meaning that if I was a customer and I did not sign up for a loyalty program or had any sort of program with points, I'm not going to come back after 12 months, which takes me back to that strategy on this, let me see if I can find it, on them coming back, the purchases per year, right? You want them to keep coming back over and over and over again, right? So you need to make sure you have a loyalty strategy put in place because we can clearly see that active loyalty members are the most valuable customers, making up 74.6% of the sales compared to 19.3% and then 5.8%, right? This is the number that you need to pay attention to. The summary of this is that having members who also redeem loyalty points will increase the lifetime value of your customer. So instead of one customer being worth $40, they're being worth $600. Instead of them being worth $600, maybe they're worth $1,200 because they're going to keep coming back with loyalty, which is incredibly important. So by having a strategy where you use any of these software providers, this study was from Springbig. Like I said, I'm not affiliated with any of them. There's a lot of loyalty softwares and stuff available. Just type in cannabis loyalty software. This is a good way to get people through the door. Now, SMS and email. So now the average open rates is between 28% and 33% for open rates for email. And then for SMS, it's about 99%, right? And it says here that 97% of messages are read within 15 minutes of delivery, right? So we can see here that SMS has the advantage, has a clear advantage over email, right? Because it gets to the customers right away, and there's less spam, there's not as many filters, like the inbox is not as full on SMS versus email. Now, this doesn't mean just go bombard SMS all the time, right? They are two different platforms for two different things, right? If I got 15 different SMS messages from a dispensary within 3 days, I'm going to be really pissed, right? I'm going to block that number for sure because I don't want these all the time, right? Because I don't, you're not going to get as many texts as you would allow on email. On email, maybe you can get away with sending an email a day, maybe, depending on how loyal your customer is, especially if they sign up for specific loyalty. So they have their place. Don't discount using email. Don't discount using SMS. Use both of them, but just realize that the power of these two hold, and don't mess up the SMS portion. You don't want to start getting banned and stuff like that. So far, what we've done is we set up your customer acquisition framework, or we set up the knowledge about the customer acquisition framework, right? We showed you how to feed your positive feedback loop with the awareness, the conversion, and the loyalty. And then we also made sure that your website is being found by your customers. And we optimize the website for conversion. And then we also establish loyalty with our customers. And like I said, on the loyalty portion, right? This strategy and stuff seems great. SMS, email, loyalty, reward programs, that's fine. But we do need to make sure that you have the foundational loyalty strategies put in place, which is good products, good customer service, good pricing with the aligned value, and then a good buying experience as well. So now let's build out your 2022 plan. So all I'm really going to do is give you back the customer acquisition framework and say, okay, how exactly do we build this out, right? Like, what are the specific plans and activities that we need to put in place to help grow awareness, grow conversion, grow loyalty, and then ultimately grow sales, which grow into dispensaries, grow into dispensary sales, right? So it's something along the lines of this. And the thing about this is that it's super simple, right? It's not like we're coming in and trying a million different things. We're focusing on 3 things for your dispensary that are going to produce you an exponential increase in sales. This isn't, hey, let's try this random thing. This isn't like, let's use some technical geofencing, retargeting. That works. Don't get me wrong. That works. But if you don't have this foundation of your customer acquisition framework put in place, right, then you're not going to be successful, because a lot of people just focus on this awareness portion and then disregard conversion and loyalty, right? Or a lot of people just do loyalty and have no clue how to generate awareness. Or some people generate a lot of awareness but have terrible conversions. So it's like a rock, paper, scissors thing, right? You need to make sure you have all of these things to make sure you can increase sales, which would provide you a significant increase in dispensary sales. So to quickly summarize, driving awareness is by ranking you higher on Google. It's very, very simple, right? We put systems and processes in place to help you rank high on Google. Just name dropping us, that's exactly what we do. Cannabis Marketing, we help you generate awareness by ranking you higher on Google, by ranking you for the near me search term so that people end up finding you, right? The 3 million plus people searching every single month. This is where you need to be to drive awareness, at least in part 1 of marketing strategy. Second part is a conversion, right? We go and we build out the websites, obviously based on a conversion, because we have the conversion framework as well. And you need to make sure your website is built for conversion, just like you would spend millions of dollars sourcing your location, making sure it's right, making sure the in-store experience is good. You need to make sure your online experience is good, because people are going to find you online first, and then they're going to go into your business, right? They're going to find you online first, and then they're going to go into your business. They don't, unless they're walking by your store, they're not going to just pop on it, right? They're going to go do their research online, figure out if this is the right place to be, then go into the store, right? That's where the conversion lies. Then the last thing is loyalty. Loyalty, super important, because you want to make sure people keep coming back over and over again. This is what falls into the lifetime value of your customer. This is the whole Starbucks $14,000 is worth per customer. Because when you know that number, if you know when you get a customer, on average, they're going to come in and spend $600, you know you can spend under $600 to get that customer, right? Because your numbers make sense. So you can spend $100 to get a customer because you know they're going to pay out 6 times on average, right? So super important things that you need to do to implement into your business. And this is a strategy, if you haven't implemented anything like this already, that you definitely need to do in order to help grow your business, not just in 2022, but forever, right? These are foundational principles that will apply for the rest of time. Now, yes, these strategies work, right? You might, if the results and, if none of this made sense, what I really want to take away is you got to put your money where your mouth is, right? Like, these are the strategies that I put together for my clients, right? For Cannabis Marketing's clients in order to help grow their dispensaries, right? Like I said, we have a bunch of dispensary owners who are incredibly happy with the work that we've done. You can look at all these case studies on our website. Just go to cannabismarketing.com/case -study. I think there should be a link down later here. But again, really important things that you need to do in order to help, like really good things that we've done for dispensaries, right? And these guys were happy enough with the results that they were willing to take a video for us, right? So really impactful things. And again, to touch on this again, we increased calls to this dispensary by 302%, $120,000 of revenue generated in 3 months. That's ridiculous, right? That's unheard of for any other marketing strategy, but we have the systems and processes put in place to develop these types of results, right? 33,000 website visits, 14,000 requests for directions, 8,500 calls, right? This is a lot of traffic and a lot of potential customers who are going to come in and not just purchase once, they're going to come back and purchase over and over and over again. Because my goal for you is to drive as many new customers to you as possible. And then it's your responsibility to make sure that they keep coming back. Because I'm not going to be in your dispensary. I'm not going to be one talking to your customers. I'm not going to be one adjusting pricing based on competitor and marketplace decisions. I'm not going to be doing any of that for you. That's what you're going to be doing. So when I work with dispensary clients, right, it is a partnership. It is us working together on this customer acquisition framework where I handle the awareness. We both work on, the loyalty and conversion. Obviously, I help with the conversion and building out the website and stuff, but getting feedback from you to ensure that we can build a good business together. That's my number one priority. So I have even more results here. This is the growth of Google My Business growth here. Again, they went from, 100 clicks to the website to 500. So that's 5x the results here. More direction requests, more calls placed, increasing growth. You can visit all of our case studies here, cannabismarketing.com/case studies. And then you can, if you don't believe it, go check all the videos, go check all the results. The things that I'm showing you here isn't just random things that I made up. This is things put in practice, right? It's based on experience. It's based on experimentation. It's based on trial and error to help you get to your goal of increasing sales for your dispensary. And then as promised, if you're looking for that checklist, I go through all of those things, the conversion pieces, the optimizations for search engine rankings, optimizing to rank on Google Maps, all of these different things. There's a checklist right here that you're free to go to. It's just cannabismarketing.com/checklist. Go ahead, go take this checklist for yourself, take it and run. If you can implement these things yourself, great. Like I said, my goal for this workshop was to educate you, right? Was to say, hey, that workshop that I did was worth it, right? I didn't know these things before I went on this call, and now I know these things now, right? And if that leads to us working together, great. But again, this is an educational piece that I think is really, really going to help your strategy moving into the next quarter, right? We're not even into Q1 really, so we have Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So go ahead, take all this information, and then use it to help grow your dispensary. So like I said, we've covered everything pretty much. We set up your customer acquisition framework. We know how to feed the positive feedback loop now. We made sure your website's getting found by your customers, optimize your website for conversion, and then establish loyalty with our customers as well. All right. So if this was of interest to you, and if you want to use us to implement these strategies that I spoke about here, you can just go to cannabismarketing.com/schedule. And then what that will do is just take you to a window where you can schedule a discovery chat. It's going to be, I would say, 15 to 30 minutes long. It's not going to be super long. And we're just going to walk through the different things that you're looking for, right? I don't create proposals beforehand because I need to see that what you are looking for as a dispensary is what we can provide for you, right? It's not like I'm going to shoot out a million proposals and do it. All of the stuff that we do is custom towards dispensary so that we can make sure that we provide the best results to you, right? I'm not going to go in and promise, hey, we can do all of these things, but it's like, okay, that's not even what you're looking for, right? That takes me back to that customer experience, that customer service piece, is that I need to understand what your needs and what your wants are before I can then curate a strategy that's custom towards your situation. Because let's face it, while everyone's running dispensaries, everyone has different problems. You might have 10 dispensaries, you might have one, you might own a franchise, whatever it is. There's going to be a different conversation with all of them, right? So this isn't a sales chat. This is purely a strategy session where I can get to know your business to see, okay, this is exactly what you're looking for. Here are all of your goals. And then how can I go about helping your business, run a lot better. So that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed this chat. Like I said, I hope it brought a lot of value. The educational piece is something that I think is super important. And yeah, let's crush it in 2022. And if you have any questions, you can reach me at brandon@cannabismarketing.com. But if you would just like to schedule a quick chat, this will probably be best. Just hit me up, cannabismarketing.com/schedule. And yeah, that should be it. Well, thanks for chatting, guys, and hope to speak with you soon.